Hello guys, I have just read the news about the collapse of another Russian Su-34, their bomber with a crew on it, and according to the comments in Russian social media, it happened in Belgorod region during a military mission and the crew was lost. And they say this is one of the best crews in Russia. So the only thing I don't like about this update is the place of the collapse of Su. It could have fallen on the heads of those present at Putin's fake inauguration today. Yes, for the 6th, 7th or 100th time, they have proclaimed Putin the ruler of the Russian Federation. And unfortunately, some authoritarian countries still consider him a political leader. People also say that a special attempt to assassinate Ukrainian President Zelenskyy and head of SBU and head of Ukrainian intelligence was planned today to congratulate Putin with another term, but fortunately we've stopped all of that. So let's discuss important events of this complicated day in the video. My name is Anna and I vlog daily from Ukraine since the start of the brutal Russian invasion. So if you're new to the channel, you support Ukraine, please subscribe and help us fight against Russian propaganda, fake news and their dying dictator Putin. And my longtime friends, check your subscription status and hit notification button. So let's start with this good information that another Russian Su collapsed in Belgorod region, perhaps in the result of successful military operation from the Ukrainian side. Russian social media discuss it heavily. Well, first of all, it's quite symbolic on the day of Putin's inauguration. And second, it seems like the crew of the bomber was super professional and known inside org society. It seems it may be 350s Russian aircraft that was upgraded to scrap metal by Ukrainian armed forces since the start of the full-scale invasion. And honestly, I believe we could have avoided this war if all of these international organizations, peacekeeping missions, and especially politicians could notice very dangerous symptom of Putin staying in power for like 30 years. He has become a president of Russia in 2000 and he is still the president, or better say the dictator, the Tsar, the ruler, or whatever they prefer, of Russia. But for the rest of the world, he is a war criminal. Unfortunately, millions of Russians love him and support him, and they like this kind of attitude to people inside the country, to countries outside. And I feel very anxious when I see some YouTubers, some professional political experts, diplomats still believe that Russian population will go on protests or will try to stop this evil. No. The only way to save Russian population, if you want this, I'm Ukrainian, I may not, is to liberate them from Putin, thousands of services like FSB and other stuff, eradicate oligarchs as a class, and then work with them for 50 years or 100 years, and maybe something will happen on that territory after the collapse of this huge, enormous, monstrous territory that is united under the brand Russian Federation, but really is a combination of 22 national republics, and Russia is just one of them. Remember to check our video about the collapse of Russian Federation in future. And this inauguration was pathetic. If you're new to the channel and you share this opinion, remember to join our community, subscribe, share, like, help more information about Ukraine become visible in the world. Luckily, not many sane people, not at all, appear to the inauguration of Putin. No leaders of the countries, some ambassadors and his authoritarian friends. Everything was super censored, super staged. Putin traditionally addressed the evil West, and all the problems come from this aggressive countries like, Ukraine, France, Britain, and so on, which demonstrates how bad diagnosis is inside the society, that they blame others for the crimes they commit. By the way, from an ordinary Ukrainian perspective, I can guarantee you this is a very typical Russian propaganda technique, when they accuse you of something they did or plan to do. So please be careful whenever they speak badly about your politicians, your societies, they are preparing something. And according to local media, Ukrainian intelligence managed to stop a number of assassination attempts on President Zelenskyy, on head of Ukrainian intelligence service Budanov, and Ukrainian SBU. It was to mark Putin's inauguration with such things, but fortunately we are working well, and I hope our answer will be more successful, and the next Su or A-50 will collapse on the head of Putin, hidden in a bunker, but bunker will be broken because of traditional Russian negligence. And honestly, it's quite painful to read the updates from the front lines, because we are losing the best people. For example, Ukrainian Olympic participant, weightlifter, who decided to protect the country. He was a champion in 2016, and he died heroically today. And also today I've learned about the death of a very close acquaintance of mine, perhaps the person I know the most out of those lost in this war, and it's a very tough experience. I feel very sorry for his beautiful family, 2 children, wife, who are very strong, very resilient, very patriotic. And you feel this insane injustice, because at this moment, what you feel very vividly is the fact that Russia is not losing the best people. It actually uses the worst people, the most aggressive, the most capable of looting, destroying. And in Ukraine, we are losing the best of our people, the most patriotic, those who cannot say no even to the most dangerous tasks. And I feel very bad when I think about these losses. And even after we win, these are the things and these are the people that cannot return back to building this country, to rediscovering its new possibilities. And this is perhaps the strongest argument that I can tell to those who believe that we can wait, we can postpone, we can negotiate, we can quarrel or change our focus on elections or something else. No, every day of Ukrainian fight costs lives and lives of the best Ukrainians. And believe me, you don't want to experience similar things in your own countries, because first of all, the people who will go first to the front lines will be the best of you. And it's tough. There is nothing that can return it back or explain it or make it better. That's why it's so important not to observe, not to think about negotiations, not to think about Putin as a legitimate president. But once again, after International Criminal Court, after European Parliament, we have to agree he is a criminal, he is illegitimate, and this inauguration is total fake, supported unfortunately by millions of zombified people. And our task is to stop it, and not just stop it, but defeat Russia. And then a lot of work is waiting for all of us, and of course some people inside Russia. Let me know what are the other topics you would like to hear on the channel. Thank you so much for your support, for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons, and helping me film and write more. Remember to subscribe to my Instagram, Threads, Twitter, Discord, and we have a beautiful merch shop with lots of items that work well as conversation starters and reminders about Ukraine. But most importantly, thank you for being with us in these challenging times. Thank you for understanding all the dangers that Russia imposes on our world, our planet. And thank you for being true friends. Slava Ukraini!